is Melody. And this video is for the star sign of Sagittarius for this week of September 1st, starting tomorrow, going through to September 7th. All right. So on September 7th, we are having a new moon in Virgo energy. We're going to do a whole separate reading for that. So this is for Sagittarians, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you have Venus in the star sign of Sagittarius, this may resonate with you. We are going to do some love, pull some cards for love, so that's why I'm including Venus. If you want to see the bigger picture of what is happening on your journey this week, you may want to check out the Sun, Moon, Rising, and or star, or the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus in all the signs in which your planets are lined up in to get the bigger picture. All right. So let's go ahead and get started, Sagittarius. Let's pull an overall weekly energy. Let's see what's happening for you this week for Sagittarius. All right. So we have the rain, purification. So let me see here. I see, look, to me in the background, this looks like a lake, a river, and then you have this little creek bed here. So there is something about that is being purified in your emotional body that is going to keep you, it's going to put you in the flow of things, Sagittarius. I also see trees. So it could have something to do with stuff that's rooted deep within you, emotions that are rooted deep within you that needs to be purified. I'm also seeing over here, to me, it looks like the moon, a piece of the moon showing through here. So until we get that new moon, right? Until it turns completely black, we're going to see bits and pieces. We're going to see how the moon goes from full, shining nice, big, bright, and full, going into that dark where it's a new moon. And I feel like that's what's happening with you this week, Sagittarius. I feel like there's a purification within your emotional body that is rooted deep within you, within them emotions, that could be blocking your flow of emotions, blocking your flow of intuition. So that's what I see so far. I feel like Spirit is telling you to allow the rain of the universe to pour down upon you, to allow this rain to purify all aspects of who you are, all aspects of yourself. So I feel like the moon is going to be very significant for you this week, Sagittarius. So let's go ahead and keep going. Let's pull some tarot cards for Sagittarius. Okay, a whole bunch of cards just popped out, but I feel like this one's very significant. So the Five of Cups. So the Five of Cups is, where you're sitting and, boo-hoo. Let me show you on this card real quick. See here, this person, this female person is wiping the tears from her eyes. So I definitely feel there is the purifying of your feminine energy. I feel like it has a lot to do with your inner child. I feel like you have felt alone or ghosted, right? I feel like you've been ghosted. And I feel like you've been hiding behind these emotions for a while that are definitely rooted deep within you. See, here you are standing behind that tree. See the tree, Sagittarius? I also see two In the background, see, there's two people standing there. So I feel like it could be the loss of your parents or parent. That could still be something that you're grieving over that needs to be purified. But for the bulk of you, Sagittarius, I feel like you're hiding behind these, the loss of something. I feel like you were gripped on to this loss that is deeply rooted and instilled within your emotional body. I feel like it's been since you were a child. I feel like you feel this emotional loss, and I feel like you're too focused on this loss is what I feel. And I feel like you're too focused on hiding your emotions and just crying over what has been lost is for some of you is what I'm feeling. And I feel like it's blocking your flow. It's blocking your emotional body being able to flow more in your emotions. So we have the Four of Cups. So we have the Four and the Five of Cups. So I feel like there's a lot of discomfort. Remember what I said about two people being back here? Here they are. There's them two people. I feel definitely it has a lot to do with your parents. I feel like your parents have passed. And I feel like you're still grieving over this. I feel like you've been grieving over it. And I feel like it has, this grief, this discomfort has been instilled within you since you were a child. I feel like you guys were never close is what I feel. I feel like it actually is blocking your sacral chakra, which is making you feel very insecure, feeling less than, feeling like, oh, well, I'm just going to hide behind these emotions from when I was a child, because if I say, okay, well, I can't do this because I was never taught this, or because my mom or my dad did this to me, and you're hiding behind that. Spirit is telling you it's time to purify that now, Sagittarius. It's time to open yourself up to be in the flow. It is time to purify that so that you can, right? So that you can be enough, right? Be enough, that you can realize that you don't really need somebody else to fill you up emotionally. So when you purify your emotions, right, and you allow this purification to happen of this inner child, you mature, right? You become mature, you become more balanced. Again, realizing that you don't need somebody else to fill you up because you're already full. All right, so let's keep going. The World, yeah. It's time to complete a cycle. See, here you have the couple on here. Look at the couple here, right? So, you have this world that's on fire. So it's time to purify that, right? Fire purifies. Absolutely. Fire purifies. It's time to purify your world is what I feel. It's time to go within and realize, right? Go within and realize that home is where the heart is. And when you allow your outside, the stuff outside of yourself that you cannot control, when you relinquish control of your outer world and go within and realize that you can't control everything around you, I feel like that's where you become into union within yourself. This is where you complete this cycle of purification. King of Cups. Oh, yeah. All right. So the King of Cups energy tells me, that you're able to mature. You're able to come into this sense of balance between your masculine and feminine energy. You're able to be in that flow, right? Be in the flow of your intuition. Open yourself up to giving and receiving on an emotional level. So it's definitely time to purify that. So think your world is going to crash and burn. And when it crashes and burns, the stuff that is rooted within you, that has been within you in your childhood, is going to cause you to grow up, is what I feel. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. I love it. All right. So that is exactly what I feel, Sagittarius. Your outer world has to crash and burn. And whenever it crashes and burns, what happens is it purifies you. And, you know, this old, uncomfortable energy that you've been feeling and grieving over goes through a purification. And when you come out the other end, you are able to, it's like you're going to mature, is what I see. This death is going to happen. So, and what's crazy is you have the death card and you have the graveyard here. So it's time to bury things that are dead, bury things that no longer serve you, such as, my parents, you know, they didn't teach me how to love myself. They didn't teach me how to open myself up to be mature. I never really got the love and affection from my parents because they disconnected from me, and it made me very uncomfortable. They made me feel isolated. They made me feel like I was dead, right? Or wished I was never born, so to speak. And I feel like, again, when you come into union within your heart space and you bring your masculine and feminine in to this sacred space within your heart and you open yourself up to be in the flow of your emotions, there's where whatever was rooted and instilled within you as a child that you are hiding becomes purified. And that causes you to be more in the flow of your emotions, be more in the flow of your intuition, to start trusting in your intuition. So you're going through a spiritual rebirth this week, Sagittarius. I feel like, you know, your world is going to crash and burn, is what I feel. And through this purification process of your world crashing and burning, you're going to come out the other side a more mature person. Like you're going through this spiritual rebirth where you're going to start feeling more at home within your emotional body, start feeling more at home within your self, period, right? So I feel like whatever emotions, I feel like you're really going to be feeling it this week, is what I feel. And this is going to be a very uncomfortable feeling for you. And I feel like whatever you were hiding behind, whatever you're clinging on to, whatever these emotions are that you're clinging on to from when you were a child, needs to end. You need to kill it. You need to put it and bury it, is what I feel. Because this will allow you to go through this rebirth and complete this cycle. And that's exactly what you're doing, completing a very important cycle this week, where you're going to feel more emotionally fulfilled. You're going to feel worthy. You're going to feel like you are enough. And I feel like that's the biggest message. You're going to feel like you are enough. You're going to raise your self-esteem, right? Why? Because you're going to go through this purification process where you're going to have no choice but to mature. Alrighty, so let's keep going. So that's what I feel for you, Sagittarius. So let's see what's happening with love this week. What is happening with love this week? What is happening with love this week for Sagittarius? So I feel like for some of you, it's about purifying that inner child. And for others of you, it's about letting go of the grief from your parents who have passed over. Because I see parents here, right? And I feel like they were very loving. I feel like there could have been some of them that caused grief, but I feel for most of you, they could have been very loving. I feel like I feel like the mother was more in control, though, is what I feel. And I feel like they died, they passed over already, and you are still in grief, right? You are still in grief, is what I feel. And I feel like you may feel like you are drowning in that grief. That is another message that's coming through. So only take what resonates, because I'm reading intuitively, and I'm seeing a bunch of different messages coming through. All right, so let's see what's happening with love. I feel like your parents could have even had orange curtains. Them orange curtains are sticking out. Your parents could have had orange curtains. Your mother could have been a redhead. Is something else that's sticking out. I also feel for some of you, your parents could have died. They could have some sort of organ problems. I feel like somebody could have been bit by something. Somebody could have had some sort of a fatal disease that affected their organs. That's something that I'm seeing too for you, Sagittarius, and it caused their death. Okay, so let's see what is happening with love for Sagittarius. So we have wings of love, guidance, and protection. So I feel like for some of you, there could have been some people around you with the Five of Cups. I feel like there could have been some people around you that perhaps the spirit guided away from you or took away from you. And a major ending in this relationship or a partnership could have caused a lot of uncomfortability. And spirit is coming in and telling you, Sagittarius, it was for your own protection, is why this loss happened. For others of you, I feel like your passed on loved ones are actually around you and they're guiding you through this end of a cycle and this rebirth. So yeah, to help you feel more secure within your heart space. Again, feeling worthy, feeling like you're enough. You don't need somebody else to fill you up. You're already filled up, right? The only thing that's sticking out is your eyes. And you're seeing that you're already filled up. You already are enough. All right. So I feel like there is your loved ones coming around you, Sagittarius, helping you to purify your emotions and feel more secure in your heart space. Yeah, promise. So there could have been some sort of a promise. Maybe a promise that you made, or a promise that was made to you, or maybe you made a promise to somebody else. Maybe you offered them a ring, and spirit protected you and split you guys apart, and this was a very uncomfortable energy, and it caused a lot of insecurities, and now you're hiding behind them insecurities on an emotional level. Wings of love. Yeah, so I feel like I feel for some of you, you're being guided, right, to let go of this pride and ego, because I feel like pride and ego is where this Five of Cups energy is. Oh, I went through this loss and I was unable to feel love from my parents. I didn't feel secure enough in my home, right? My world crashed and burned because my parents didn't want me, or whatever that scenario could be. I'm just putting it out there as I'm seeing it, Sagittarius. And I feel like Spirit is telling you this loss happened for your own protection. So stop hiding behind, right? Stop allowing your pride and ego to don't feel secure in your pride and ego. Don't allow your pride and ego to keep you in this loss. That's what you need to put to death, is that pride and ego. And you're being guided to do that, is what I see. Your pride and ego is what is, see, if you look on this card, see, here you're hiding behind that tree. The pride and ego, you're popping your head out from behind that tree. And I feel like you're gripped on to whatever was instilled within that child. Spirit's telling you, death comes, right? Put an ending to that pride and ego. Put that pride and ego to death. Because Spirit is guiding you to do that, is what I feel. Secure love nest. Yeah, I feel like you want to reach out, but you feel bound, right? You feel bound to these emotions. Again, you feel bound to these emotions of loss, of this uncomfortable energy, and you feel too bound to these insecurities, this ego, right? So promise, yeah. I feel like you're awakening, Sagittarius. There you are, awakening. And if you look, you're looking out across this body of water. You're seeing between the obstacles here. You're looking out over that. And this cloudiness, this cloud that was blocking your emotions, or this cloud of, how do I want to say this? The cloud, the ego cloud that was you were hiding behind emotionally or crying over emotionally, you're awakening to that, right? You're awakening to what has kept you bound emotionally, and you're reaching what has kept you stuck, perhaps from reaching, because I see here arms are reaching out. One's touching the promise and one is touching the security. So I feel like you've been too insecure and too stuck in bound, right? In this pride and ego to reach out, right? You haven't felt secure enough because you are still crying over that, the instincts or the lack of emotion that you felt as a child. And that's why this week Spirit is helping you to purify that inner child that has kept you stuck and bound, right? So that's what I see so far. So we're going to pull another layer for you. I'm sorry that it's not wanting to focus. There, that's a little bit better. There we go. All right, so let's pull another layer. Guidance and protection of pride and ego. Yeah, so there's that Hermit card. Hermit represents Virgo. So the new moon in Virgo, right? You're being guided, right, to put to death the ego-based energy that has kept you frozen. You're being guided to go within and face that emotion. Face that emotion. It's going to be very uncomfortable. There's no doubt about it. When you're going to put to death something that you were comfortable in, right? When you're going to put that to death and complete this, it's hard. It is. So I feel like you really need to do some soul searching, and I feel like the Virgo energy is going to help to purify whatever has kept you frozen, that new moon in Virgo energy. And I feel like you're definitely being spiritually guided to face these emotions, to put that ego energy to death, because it has kept you stuck in bounds. Okay, so security and bound. Yeah, look at that. There you go, Sagittarius. There you are, coming out. So you're to feel more secure in your heart space, to restore that inner balance, you need to put that ego energy to death. And I feel like that's what you're awakening to, is what has clouded you, what has truly clouded you. And you're seeing that with the King of Cups. You're seeing that. You're seeing that you are enough, that you're already emotionally fulfilled, right? You're seeing what you need, because without ego, pride and egos in a way, it causes you to be very immature. So you need to put that ego to death. And when you put that ego to death, what you do is you complete a very important cycle. And then you go through this rebirth where you have this inner balance. You have this inner balance to open yourself up to compassion, step into your power, and feel more secure in your heart space. Feel worthy enough. So Spirit is telling you this week with the Temperance coming out, it is time. It is time to put your ego to death. All right, so promise and awakening, yep. Thoughts. You're shifting your thoughts is what I feel. You're shifting your thoughts about love. And you're awakening to want to offer a promise to somebody. So you're awakening and shifting your thoughts from cloudiness. You're seeing the obstacle. You're seeing the way through the obstacle. You're awakening your thoughts as a way to see through the obstacle is what I see. And the obstacle is what needs to be purified, Sagittarius, to allow your world to be purified, your inner and your outer world, to feel worthy enough, to feel more secure, to bring your masculine and feminine energy into a sense of balance. Okay, so what is a conversation that you're having in the 5D realm with your person this week, Sagittarius? Is it possible to forgive and forget, right? And that's what you're thinking. Is it possible to forgive and forget? Because my pride and ego was keeping me. My pride and ego was what I was clinging on to. Because I didn't feel worthy enough. I didn't feel like I was fulfilled enough within myself to offer you this promise. I'm still trying to find myself, right? So you're awakening to that. I'm still trying to find myself. I'm still trying to discover what needs to be purified. I just want you to be happy, right? So awesome. And I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with my what? My promises right there. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with my promises as I was too clouded. My mind was too clouded because I was more in my pride and ego. And that is why I was hiding behind these emotions. I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with this promise to offer you my heart. But I just want you to be happy because I am still trying to find myself. I'm still trying to awaken, right? I'm still trying to awaken to see through this obstacle. Start to see through the obstacle so I can feel worthy enough. So I can mature. So I can put my ego to death. Because my ego is where I'm comfortable at. I feel more fulfilled in my ego. So I'm sorry I couldn't follow through with this promise. But I just want you to be happy. So is it possible to forgive and forget the fact that I couldn't follow through with this promise? I apologize. I'm still trying to find myself. My world has crashed and burned. All right, so let's go ahead and pull some letters for you, Sagittarius. What's some letters? Your person could have your name or their name. Letters for Scorpio's person or their name. Sagittarius. I apologize. Sagittarius. If I kept calling you Scorpio, I apologize. Sagittarius. So I feel for some of you, you need to look at this loss that you've experienced as divine protection. They were protecting you for a reason, right? Don't look at this loss as being uncomfortable. Look at it as the divine was protecting me for a reason. All right, so we have a D coming through. So a D could be in your person's name or yours. We have a wild card, so you can make that any letter you want. We have a P coming through. So there could be a P in your name or your person's name. I see a 2 and a 3, so there could be a 5. It could be March 2nd. It could be February 3rd, or there could be a 5 in your birth date or theirs, Sagittarius, and an S. So it could be 12-3, it could be 5, it could be a 6, it could be March 3rd, it could be April 2nd, it could be February 4th, it could be May 1st, could be birth dates, it could be 12-3, December 3rd could be your birth date. Okay, so those are your letters. So what is it? I don't know what I just dropped. Okay. What is it the Sagittarius needs to let go of this week? Acknowledging my desires. Trying to get it to focus. Today I will release the belief that my needs are never met. Oh my goodness. I will acknowledge my desires and turn them over to my higher power. My wants and needs are not an accident. God created them when He created me. So purify the fact that you feel like your needs are never met, your belief system. Again, not feeling valued, not feeling worthy, right? And acknowledge what you desire. So allowing your pride and ego, again, to put that pride and ego to death. So what are some signs that you're being shown this week, Sagittarius? All right, so spirit possession, incubus, succubus, sexual obsession. So I feel like your pride and ego could have been in that possession. You could have allowed your pride and ego to keep you in this sexual energy instead of what you desire. It's just that was what you desire is just strictly sex is something else I'm seeing here. Spirit of the fly, what's rotten, decayed, or stagnant? What is possessing you? And then spirit of the snowflake, how special you truly are, how unique and one of a kind you are. And that's why you got the wings of love that are guiding you and protecting you, because you're unique, Sagittarius. You're very, very special. So spirit of possession. Yeah, it's time to break free of this possessed energy. It's time to break free of this sexual obsession and rise above these emotions. Spirit of the fly. It's time to start feeling satisfied. It is time to put an ending to what is rotten, stagnant, or decaying within your emotional body and feel emotionally satisfied. And that's why you're showing up, Sagittarius, as the King of Cups, feeling satisfied, feeling worthy, feeling like you are enough. Spirit of the snowflake, yep, coming into alignment. So coming into alignment, now we have a letter M coming through, so your person's name could have an M in it as well. So you're unique. You are special. You are one of a kind, and you are coming into alignment with your own unique energy. Because why? Because you're completing a very, very important cycle by going through an ego death. And when you come through the other side, right, you're awakening to what needs to die. And when you come through this transformational energy, you're going to be more in alignment with your uniqueness. And I feel like that's what you're awakening to. You're going to be able to see through any obstacle that is being presented in front of you. So what is Sagittarius higher self to message to present moment Sagittarius? Risk it. Look at the birds. So you can be seeing bluebirds. So your higher self is telling you to risk it, right? Just jump. All right. So let's put this up here. Great things are born from those brave enough to fly, those who are willing to risk failure. Your dreams require action and you're ready to make a move. Remember, you have nothing to lose. Even if you flop, you'll receive valuable insight. Get off your butt and take a leap. Go for it. So your higher self is even telling you to go for it. Take the risk, right? Take the risk in something. And I feel like what you need to take a risk in is putting that ego to death. Complete this very important cycle where you are really maturing on an emotional level, letting go of any insecurities that are instilled within you, allowing your emotions to be purified so that you can be more in the flow of them and be fulfilled emotionally, right? And I feel like the signs are showing you that. They're showing you what is decaying within you. What is this possession? Your emotions of ego are possessing you, and they're showing you how to have this sense of freedom to rise above it and bring yourself into alignment with the truth of who you are. All right, so let's go ahead and pull a message from your spirit guides, Sagittarius. Give without expectation. So look at that emotions. Look at them emotions coming through. A green, which is heart chakra, and orange, which is sacral chakra, which I already picked up on. So when you give without expecting to get something back, when you're able to give on an emotional level, right? When you're able to risk that and to acknowledge your own desires and feel worthy of your abundance, things just like poof, fall right into place. All right, so what crystal do you recommend for Sagittarius this week? What crystal do you recommend for Sagittarius to carry with them this week? Okay, come on. What crystal do you recommend for Sagittarius this week? Okay, here we go. Tangerine or a quartz, root chakra, sacral chakra, and solar plexus chakra. Self-esteem, creativity, and sexuality. Couldn't be a better crystal. I am worthy. Yes, just like I said, you are worthy. You already got everything you need within you, Sagittarius. You will realize that you are worthy, right? Because why? Because you'll have high self-esteem. You'll be able to create the abundance that you so desire if you just take the risk, right? A fear of intimacy. You're going to have that freedom again to have this freedom of this fear of ecstasy, this fear of intimacy. Beautiful. And I feel like that is just the last message from everything that came through intuitively. Thank you for watching, Sagittarius, and have a blessed week until I see you again.